Okay, everybody, I have one other scenario I wanted to share with you, and that is you have a new listing in which you have all the hard copy paperwork already complete. At this point, you just need to get it into dotloop and submit it for review by your admin and your manager. So you've already met with your sellers, you have the MLS complete, and everything's ready to go, no different than turning in a complete hard copy packet to your admin for final review and signatures. So once you're logged into dotloop and you go to create the loop, you do want to search again, always search first. We're going to look for 1234 Best Wear Blue Lane. Nope, I do not see that created. So we're going to create the new loop. We're actually going to capitalize because that's better practices. Best Wear Blue Lane, Sycamore, Illinois 60178. So I've already done all the paperwork. I just have to start the loop. We don't have the loop. We've searched for it. Our admin hasn't started anything for us yet. So we click create a loop. Best Wear Blue Lane. And then you're always going to select a template if you have a designated template created for your area. It is the most helpful to have the extra forms that you may need in a document there and handy within that loop without having to search later through the templates if you need them. So we're going to select the listing packet template and create the loop. This also is going to have then a pre-designated workflow, myself added as your manager, and separate folders created. That's why it's beneficial to use a template if you have one created for the office. The way we've ordered all the documents too in these loops is all the checklists are first, where you're going to need to add a checklist. And just like with any other loop we've created, you want to make sure you add as many details as you can. Even though you have done a lot of that paperwork ahead of time, anything you do from the listing point forward onto contract and closing, you do want to have as many details as you can added into the details page of that loop. So I recommend you go into the details page and you add your street information. All right, and you're also going to maybe have your MLS number already. We're just going to drop some numbers in. A parcel ID if you have it. You could put the commission rate in. I like being an overachiever. We're going to go for 6.5%. You're worth it. And then contract dates, offer dates, and everything else comes later. So with this, you're going to save all the details you've put in. Again, you can add the year builds here. Let's go with some basics. All right. All right, the save is successful. And you're going to go back to the loop and your details are in there. Okay, since you've done all the paperwork already and you've scanned it to your email because now you just need to put it in the loop, you can minimize and remove these folders if you don't want to have them there. That's just a place that it's basically a placeholder for all other documents you might want to use, but you may not need at this point. Okay, we're going to add a folder for yourself if you want, called list. And then we're going to add the document from email. It copies the loop email address automatically for you. And you're going to go back to your email where you have the listing paperwork scanned as a complete document. You're going to click on forward. And you can right click and paste that copied loop address into the to field. And all you have to do is click send. All right. So once you go back into dotloop, it might take a second for the documents to load, and I recommend that using F5 on your keyboard to refresh the browser is also a helpful way to see that those documents show up quickly. Instead of waiting for something to just appear, you might need to refresh that browser window. So here you have the document that's been scanned in and copied from your email once you sent it from there. We're going to click on the document. And your whole entire packet is going to be here. Now, it makes sense at this point to split the document into several pieces so that if you do want to share individual pieces with different parties to the transaction, you can do so very easily. You're going to go up to Other Actions and Split Document. You can also rotate pages there as well if it's incorrect. And we're going to say, just for the sake of time, that we're going to split just into 2 right now. Okay, from pages 1 to 7. And then the remaining pages are going to be disclosures. All right, and you'll probably have separate ones, like your MLS sheet might be separate, your taxes might be separate. You might have other additional pieces that's specific to your local board that you might separate out in there. So you always want to designate first how many documents you need. So rather than scanning individual files and having 10 emails to forward into your loop, it's better to just do one full packet, and a lot easier to split them within this. Also, you can drag and on this top bar here, left click and drag, and move it off to the side. So while you're looking through this document to determine what pages you need to split, you can see the page number and also go through the entire document to make sure you've accounted for all the pages in that document. Okay, so we've split it into 2. It's a total of 20 pages. We're going to split the document. It's going to take you give you the notification that it's been split, but a copy of the original has been archived, which is really nice. Like I've said before, the only thing you really can't undo in dotloop is adding somebody to your team, which you don't want to do. Anything else, you pretty much have an archived copy, and you can go back and undo things or get back to your original. So here are the split documents. This is where you can share with anybody you'd like to share with. You can also drag and reorder things in any order. You're also going to have things like your initial listing checklist, which you can copy from this folder to that listing folder by going copy to as a dotloop document, copy to loop. I'm going to select Bestware Blue Lane, and I'm going to put it in my list folder because that's a necessary document. Obviously, we're going to have that. So now you have all the required documents you need to submit, assuming all your pieces are here that your manager was requiring of you. And now you can also go in and double check that everything's going to be complete on your checklist. Now you can autofill this property information and also your seller. So we're going to add that person on here since we didn't do that in the details of the loop page. Again, we'll use my husband as an example. Been used before. And we're going to let me do that. And we're going to autofill. Okay. So you'll see information's been put in already. You can complete anything else just by typing in like a normal field. You can also format at the top, center justify, changing your font sizes or anything like that. You can do that here as well. You can select. You don't need to have anybody sign. As far as your manager goes in this role here, you can actually assign this to yourself as the agent and click Sign Now, adopt your signature. So your worksheet's done. You can save that and go back to your loop. So your whole worksheet's complete. You've scanned all the other paperwork in, and now we just need to submit everything for review. We do want to make sure your loop status is at least a pre-listing. And then we will change, as your admin or manager, we will verify that those are at the correct stages and change those if you haven't done that correctly yourself. So that is just our own double check system as well. So if you want to be ready to submit, all you have to do is click on Submit to Review in the top corner. And it's going to ask you what folder to submit. Since you created your own folder for this and you did scan all the documents separately and created a separate folder for just your specific paperwork that you completed outside of dotloop, you're going to select just that folder. And you have to select the workflow since it wasn't already predetermined. This is a listing. Click Submit. And now you'll see that whole folder has been sent off for review, and it says pending initial review. This has been sent now to your admin, who will review it and then send it on to your manager for their own initials and signatures on your documentation, and you can get notification once those are complete as well. If you have any other questions or anything that wasn't addressed in this, talk to your admin or manager that are using the system. Also reference the training center and the tutorials. There's a lot of great information here, and you can search almost any topic and find help on it that way. This is just mostly created for you to have more specific workflow help in regards to how we do things at Coldwell Banker Honig Bell and in our office. Thanks for your time.